Hunter, Spencer, good to see you both. Welcome to Popternative.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Hunter, welcome back. I lost track of time, but it's good to see you again. Spencer, I want to start with you because, storytelling, it just becomes one hat, I feel like, especially going into production. But like you wrote this and you directed it. Were there times where those felt like two different jobs, or did the whole process with the wilderness feel like one big thing, so to speak, like one big hat?
That's a great question. I've never thought about that. Hopefully I don't bungle the answer. Honestly, we had such a great team, and uh, a lot of people were empowered to bring their own things to this project. Hunter being one of them. We worked on the script a lot together. He put himself into that. I had that luxury of working with great actors that really brought a lot to it. So I think by the time I was on set, I felt a little distance from, like, I felt like a director, you know? So there's definitely a screenwriting time that took, it was years to get the script finalized, and a directing time. So it felt like I was each of them at different times, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. Hunter, I
Yeah.
get interested in that script to screen journey because at some point you're going to go to camera on this thing, and like you could read this and picture things as much as you can, as much as you want, right? But then once you get there, I feel like that's when everything kind of starts, right? And feels real. What was that like with
For
this
sure.
script specifically? Like kind of reading everything, all these elements, these thriller components, and seeing it come to life while you got to production.
Yeah, it is a whole different beast, when you're going back and forth on ideas for the script. You're like, yeah, no, like out in the middle of the desert, sun blaring down on you, like that's gonna look awesome. And then you're like, oh no, now we have to do this for 5 weeks. Uh, but
Indie film right there. Let's just say.
yeah, no, this was
And
a
it's,
true
and it's
indie, but it was,
monsooning instead of sun.
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know we were dealing with all of the elements out there. Yeah, again, it was a true indie project, but I mean, we had so much fun out there. We were out in Boulder, Utah for like 5, 6 weeks,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
5 weeks or 4 weeks of shooting and a week of prep or something. At least
Yeah.
when I did. You were out there longer.
Spencer was probably like, all the days are just as a blur at this point.
Yeah,
Part of me is still out there.
yeah.
Well, it's interesting too because, that's a good segue to my next question. I mean, I feel like, because I'm a filmmaker as well, and Spencer, I want to know your opinion on this. Like, I feel like we all kind of started, in similar kind of boat, and like in regards to the fact that we saw our favorite movies and TV shows, and we're like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to make these things, right? Do you feel
Yeah.
like you watch things differently now that you're making things? Because I've been thinking about that a lot recently.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all the different elements add to that. If you spend 3 months in an edit bay, you're going to be watching a movie and seeing every cut, and so yeah, but then I think yeah, I do, but it's a challenge. But sometimes the best films, you can still be an audience member in.
Yeah, absolutely. And Hunter, this film has a lot of kind of elements at play, but like the thriller component's really big here as well. And I'm wondering, for like, it is spooky season, and I feel like a lot of things in that kind of world are very popular, and people kind of consume it all, right? Whether it's like pure horror, thriller, survival, sci-fi. I'm wondering what it's like for you as an actor, storyteller right now, working in those worlds at a time where everything's elevated, everything's heightened, because I feel like it's been completely changed in a way where it's so like that's like like horror movies and thrillers are like, the biggest movies in town right now. So I'm just wondering what that's like for you.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of in this amazing like horror like golden age right now. I'm working on like a true horror film right now, so but this to me felt totally different. I mean, I guess I wouldn't naturally say there's like a spooky season connection to the wilderness, but there is this kind of like obviously like true life horror element to
Well,
it
yeah, the survival,
that these
right? Yeah, yeah.
these kids are really being sent out to these fucked up camps.
Yeah.
But no, it was, because I'm doing this horror movie now, or Wednesday, these like worlds that are like so much larger than life. It was really cool to just step into just such a grounded world on this one.
Spencer, what are those conversations like? Like, I like what he just said about, these kids being sent out and they're kind of thrown in. And that can be for all the actors involved, that's going to be a challenging exercise from an acting perspective, right? So, like, in terms of like exhaustion and like desperation, like, what are those conversations like with Hunter, those like actor director conversations about those kind of elements of the script?
Yeah, well, that's why for me it was so important to actually shoot it out there, and not 30 minutes from a city, not even an hour from a city. We were out there, man. We were 3.5 hours from Salt Lake, 5 hours from Vegas, and the guys came out a week early and we did a backpacking trip. A wilderness survival expert took us out into the woods, and because there's a lot of like, I can't really explain that. We had to be out there, and everyone embraced it. And Hunter led. He was so game to do everything and not get dirty, get in the mud and stuff like that. And it was just like,
Yeah, where's my stunt double?
hey, you can ask me, man, but you didn't need me. Yeah, man. So I'd say it was experience that did that, and you see a couple rattlesnakes while you're out there, it makes it feel real.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I feel like it's not, you're right, Hunter. It's not like a spooky season kind of movie, but it's like you think about just all these kind of elements in there, right? That's where I was kind of going with that. And I do want
No,
to
no,
ask,
yeah, I saw that connection for sure, that true life horror.
yeah. And then, but like, going to another project they've done that's more spooky, Wednesday. I mean, I loved like what you did with Tyler this season, man. Like, I love that. That was like a side of the character that like I was not expecting. You know what I mean? We expected it a bit after season 1, where he is kind of he's crazy, but like you took it to a new level. I mean, what's that been like, seeing the response of Tyler for Wednesday season 2, part 1 and 2, just seeing kind of that like reaction to him being like a full out like psychopath specifically?
It's been really fun to play Tyler this season. I mean, I feel like I was personally waiting to play this version of him since we were doing the nice barista version in season 1, because I knew where the story was heading. Yeah, and I'm just so stoked people are still into the show. I know it, like you and I were talking about, we spoke for season 1 press back 3 years ago. Sorry about that. We're trying to get season 3 out a little faster.
Yeah. No, the barista stuff was great. No, but just a credit to you, man. Like, you're a really good actor, man. Like, seriously, like you're really good at what you do. So,
Thank you.
it was really awesome what you did there. And is it kind of one of those things, Spencer, where at some point, I'm sure I feel like Hunter's going to laugh right now, because when I ask this question, he's probably going to know exactly examples of this. But like, when you make a film, right, we're going to see like a scene or two, and the runtime of that scene is like, 3 minutes, right? And it goes to the next scene. But there's a very good chance that 3-minute scene might have taken you guys like the whole day, or like 3 days or 4 days, right? Like one scene. When those scenes happen, do they feel like their own mini movie, mini project, or do they feel like overall part of the wilderness, so to speak?
Yeah, well, I mean, each day is its own battle. Each week is too. You talk to the best ADs. We had a great AD on this project, and you got to build a balance, a rhythm. You know that you've got your overnight on Friday. You might start with earlier, so and it's just like this. Yeah, so it feels like a success. There's some scenes that you've only got 6 hours to do, and when you get it done, it's like, yeah, you feel like you finished the movie, but then you got to get up the next day, So, yeah, it's definitely its own battle, each scene.
No, absolutely. I would like, I don't know, can you add to that a little bit too? Like, was there a specific scene in this film that like felt like its own thing, or like did it all feel like overall part of the project?
Yeah, without kind of spoiling too much, there's one sequence in the film that Spencer, along with Sean, our amazing DP, designed to like not shoot like traditional coverage. We kind of, it was, you know, we were really out in this crazy landscape, but we were shooting this like really long sequence all as like just the camera was wandering around catching different glimpses of people at different times. And like for us as actors, it was so fun because, you know, it wasn't like you were just focused on your coverage. Like everyone was going full out every single take, and like it felt, you know, like rehearsing or doing a play. Like and getting that whole sequence really, that felt like a really, that was really fun, and definitely felt like its own little movie within the movie.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and that just to add on to that scene, we had so many different elements. We had to kind of wing it on camera. So we decided Sean was gonna just have fun with each one and move as he felt. So we had to talk to that. We had the actors had to be prepared to be on camera at any moment. So that was a great example, Arthur.
Yeah. No,
It's
absolutely.
crazy because usually I just wait for my coverage.
Before we kind of wrap up, because I really can't wait for people to check out this film because it's great, and I love supporting indie film as an indie filmmaker myself. I do want to ask Hunter super quick. I mean, you know, I know you can't say much about Evil Dead, like you're filming it right now, but I just want to ask you. Maybe you're not. Maybe you don't. I don't think you maybe have time to actually think about these things I'm going to ask because you're filming and like Wednesday is like insane. But like, do you get excited like talking to your, you know, family and friends that are into horror movies and everything, and like everyone's watching all the stuff coming out, and you're like, hey, like I'm on deck, right? Like when Evil Dead comes out, that's gonna be the next film. Like, do you think about that? Like, it's an exciting time. Like you're making a movie part of an iconic kind of franchise, and now spooky season, everyone's talking about a lot of things, but like, are you thinking about the fact that people are going to be able to kind of see it? That's going to be a big part of like the spooky season kind of binges moving forward.
I hope so. It's a lot of pressure to, you know, make a film in like kind of such a beloved franchise for sure. I mainly I found out a lot of my friends and family like are wimps and don't like horrors at all. Like my best friend from back home, Grace, was like can't watch anything even remotely scary. She says Wednesday's like the tipping point for her. So I'm excited to force a lot of people to watch a scary movie.
An Evil Dead film for their first horror movie, I don't think is a very good show.
Yeah, no, it's not going to go well for them, but it'll be fun for me.
Spencer, in terms of kind of genres of what you're doing, I just want to ask, because we are talking about spooky season, is that a genre that really interests you, like pure horror and thriller for like your next project? Do you think about that a little bit at all?
Yeah, I mean, I like good stories, you know, and I think that can cross genres. The next film I have coming out next year is a little bit of a psychological thriller, but I wouldn't say overt horror. I've never tackled anything like that, but you know, I'm open to compelling stories, and we see that in every genre.
Absolutely. So yeah, The Wilderness, people are gonna be able to check that out soon. I think October 17th, I think is the date for that one, right, Spencer?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so exciting. I'm really happy for both of you. Spencer, it was great. Spencer and Hunter, it was great chatting with you both. Thank you so much for your time, and congrats on this film.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Have a good day.
This has been Pop Turnip, youtube.com/PopTurnip. Previous episodes. Till next time, this is Spencer King, Hunter Doohan, and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.